Hey guys, welcome to Cats and Guns today. Me, Zach from the channel, co-founder, pioneer, patriot, as some would like to say. Today I have a original 1943 Mosin Nagant. It is Russian, standard piece of wood. I'm fairly certain this wood has not been touched since 1943, to be honest with you. I haven't gone through. A little loose in the bevels there, a little loose in the clamps. But you know, in the same regard, I've been shooting this for about a month now, and I gotta say, man, I absolutely love it. This is my first actual bolt-action rifle that I've purchased. Got it for about 300 bucks from a local pawn shop, and you know, they're super cheap rifles. The only problem with it is the ammo. The ammo, you're gonna have to sit there and actually go look around. But there's such an abundance because while it is a cartridge that was discontinued in, I want to say 71 or 79, I can't remember, I'm a little iffy on the history of that. There was so much surplus of it that essentially you could go and find it just about anywhere if you're willing to look for it. It is a big cartridge. It is chambered in 7.62 by 54R. And right now, I'd actually like to go ahead and pull one out so I can show you guys. I'm going to throw this over here, make sure, for one, nothing is loaded, make sure there's nothing in the chamber, everything's good to go. Just so y'all know, with these old rifles, they didn't really have much of a safety or anything on them. So make sure that if you have a child or anything in the house, kind of keep it up above so they can't reach for this. Hey guys, welcome back, new shirt here. Anyway, so we're going through, and I'd like to show the difference between two different calibers. So this right here is a 7.62 by 39 cartridge. This is what most of your AKs or SKSs will shoot. Sometimes even an AR could be chambered in this. And then this is your 7.62 by 50-4R cartridge, all right? Now, you versus the guy she told you not to worry about, all right? This is a beefy round. All right, and it'll definitely give you a little kick in the shoulder when you try to put that in that Mosin and shoot it. So, anyway, Ryu's just kind of going through her business right now, and Biscuit's going through mine, as I could tell. But the main difference is with the 7.62 by 54R, it is such a flat shooting cartridge that factory settings for the Mosin Nagant, no matter where it comes from, is ranged at 100 to 300 yards. So it kind of shoots a little weird and it shoots a little wonky because essentially where you're aiming at, especially at 100 yards, which is what we did at the range, we can go ahead and Jamie put some footage up there for that. You have to kind of point down just a tiny bit. Like if you're aiming for like torso, you want to aim kind of like stomach at 100 yards. So you get that nice just torso shot. Now at 200 yards, it is dead on accurate. Where you're lining those sights up, it's going to go straight there. Now, any problems I have with the Mosin is honestly pretty negated for the fact that A, it's an old rifle, and you know, B, it's definitely been in a couple wars and it's survived those wars very, very well actually. In fact, I'm pretty sure some of the Ukrainians right now are actually still using Mosin Nagant just because there's such a big supply of them just in the backdrop. And the same goes for AKs and all the other Russian-made weapons. My only complaint...
I had a cough and I accidentally hit the stop button mid-sentence. It kind of...
Well, I guess we'll just go back to this. Alright, so the whole thing about it is it only holds about 5 rounds, right? It has an internal magazine, so you open this bad boy up, you can see that right here, you'd actually take the rounds and then push them in. So usually you can do stripper clips. Stripper clips are a great way for these rifles if you ever want to load them quick. You just kind of slide it right there and just slap it down. I don't have any stripper clips, I'm not that cool. Action though, I mean, it's a pretty solid action, nothing crazy, it's standard bolt action. Only thing about these guns is they're not as easy to modify unless you get, you know, different versions that might have the side ducktails, which, if you don't know what a side ducktail is, it is little rivets that'll be on the sides of the rifles right here where you can mount a scope on them. This one does not, so I can't really do much with it, but in all honesty, I kind of like it for how it is. The irons are pretty great. I actually do love the Mosin Nagant's iron sights. They feel comfortable to use, and it's not overly bearing either, and you get a clear sight picture to go with it. Now, trigger action, in all honesty, for being as old it is, just nice, solid. I think that's not even a crazy amount. I wish I had a device that could tell me how much it is, but it would feel somewhere around the 4 to 5 pounds area for the trigger pull, which is super great, especially for a rifle. I mean, it's as soon as you're touching it, it just sends it straight down. One big complaint that I have is if you're ever trying to work on this rifle, there's a lot of stuff you really got to do to work on these, which isn't as, you know, compatible like your AR-10s or even just your modern bolt actions, where you can kind of take everything out of the plastic stock that they're in. I mean, you can still take these out, but basically the easiest way to kind of strip field and clean this is you'll hold that trigger, pull the bolt back, and it'll just slide right out. Easy as pie. You know, make sure you just kind of get a nice little lubing on there, nice little lubing in there, and then hold that trigger again, slide it right back in. It's good to go. And I mean, I can understand if you're on the battlefield, this would be such an easy thing to do, especially, you know, when you're like, I don't have time to just strip all of this and clean it and make sure everything's good. Whenever someone's just like, hey, the only action I need to worry about is just, you're good to go. Closing thoughts on this, I absolutely adore this rifle. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think there's many cons that I could sit here and say other than like I'd have to, you know, redo the lacquer, but that's just the rifle I got. There's plenty of them that are in good, clean shape and probably cheaper, if not the same price. But, you know, if you're ever looking for a good bolt action, stop by, and if you don't want to spend a lot of money, just grab one of these. They're super fun. I mean, 7.62x54R is still cheaper than 30-06 as is. And, you know, go have a little range day with the buddies and have fun. This is Zach from Cats and Guns. See y'all later.